Good evening, everybody. Good evening, my dear participants. Thank you for joining. As usual, Sunil here. Can you hear me? Please give your confirmations on the chat box. Please, your chat is open now. Please respond your name and your location. Thank you very much. It will be good if you could respond your location also. Perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining and yet another one more soft skills training from Logic Labs Technologies today, and the concept is presentation skills. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining the sessions. Wow, Cameroon. We have international participants also. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's stop the chat. Let us stop the chat. Thank you very much. Let us stop the chat. Thank you very much. I welcome today's speaker, Sonali. Hi, Sonali. How are you doing today?
Hi, good evening. I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you, Sonali, for joining this session, and thank you for your time for giving this training on interview skills. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Sonali. How are you doing today?
I'm all good, and thanks for giving me this opportunity. Thanks for having me here.
Okay. So before you get started, I want to have a quick introduction about yourself to my participants. Okay. So my dear participants, I welcome Sonali, the founder and director of Prismatic Persona. She has served Indian Air Force for a short service commission for a period of 6 years in aeronautical engineering and electrical engineer with the MBA in information technology. She completed business management from Indian Institute of Management. So she's an IIM graduate and a soft skills trainer, holds 15 years of professional experience in management, administration, technical fields. Strong speaker and have coordinated multiple events and conferences. She's interviewed by various platforms such as Jagir Raghava and Show Win Life like Warrior, Bernard Radio Talk Show, RJ Amit, and many other events. She has a lot of awards and certifications, certified from Assist World Records, storyteller in long multinational conference, authored and published book of Hindi stories, one title Mrs. India Adventures, and a certified yoga instructor. Okay, so thank you, and I welcome you all. I welcome Sonali, you on behalf of Logic Labs Technologies for this wonderful training ahead.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm making you as a host, Sonali.
Sure.
So once you are the host, you will have an option to share the screen.
Right. Shall I share screen now?
Yes, please.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Is my screen visible?
Yes, Sonali, your screen is very visible. Over to you. Please get started. Right. Thank you very much.
Right. Good evening, everyone. And it's wonderful to have all of you here. I saw like a lot of people are there from various cities and states, even abroad. So welcome all. Today we are having this session on interview skills. Now, why this is important is because interview is whenever you are going for a job, this is the first thing you will come across when you want to take up any job. It could be formal, informal interview. It can be, you meet some of the managers or a CEO in a party, and they would gauge, what is your knowledge or how well you speak. So once you get your degree, once you are looking out for jobs, I personally feel you should be ready all time wherever you go for giving your interview and be interview ready. So let's see that what all things we are going to cover today. So today's session is in collaboration with my company Prismatic Persona with Logic Labs Technologies. Thank you, Sunil sir, for this. So what are the learning outcomes going to be? It will help you understand the interview process, the skills for effective interview, also the etiquette and tips for giving a good interview, what all questions you might be asked, and do's and don'ts of a resume. So this is the kind of outline what I'm going to cover today. Learning outcomes we've already seen. So what is an interview? SWOT analysis, types of interview tips and etiquette, common interview questions, dressing, starting the interview, after the interview, resumes, do's and don'ts, and again, tips for successful interview. Now, there are dozens of people who appear for the same position. You all know that if there is an opening for a technical job or administrative job, many people appear for it. Now, what you need to do, you have to stand out in that crowd. How will you do this? There are two things. One is your mental state and your choice. How many of you see the glass full, half empty, and how many of you see the glass half full? Those who see it half full, it is called as you are seeing the opportunity in any space or in a given situation. However, if you see what is there in this, why should I do this, or I am not good for this job, then you are being a pessimist. So it is up to you how you see that situation. It's all about your mindset, as I said just now, because what you think really matters. You might be feeling, oh, I have this degree, I have this certificate. However, if your mental state, if you are not positive, if you are not thinking correct, then you will not be able to achieve things. And this I have experienced practically. That is the reason I am also saying this very confidently. So moving ahead, what is an interview? So what is an interview? Interview is basically a meeting organized to select a candidate for a certain job and position. All of you must be knowing this, most of you rather, that a job interview is a process where the employee, he tries to find out a potential the employer tries to find out a candidate who is suitable for that particular role in his or her organization. So that is what interview is all about. Getting selected for a job. Now, first thing we have to see is what is SWOT analysis. Now, in this, why SWOT analysis is important is SWOT. It stands for strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat. This is related to your own self. Whatever questions I am going to read here, you have to analyze your own self, give answers, and you might ask your friends or your family about how they feel about you, but you need to analyze yourself. This will help you perform better in any interview. Strength. What advantages you have over others? What are your achievements? What can you do better than others? It could be like, for example, you have done an extra course in computers, or you have another degree in technical field. So that could be your advantage. Weakness. Which task usually you avoid? Or is there a negative habit, coming late, joining late, or maybe you interrupt others while speaking? There could be any negative habit which you have, which you need to overcome. However, first you should be aware of it. So once you write down these points, it will be clear in your head that where am I lagging? What is it that I need to improve, or what is my strength, which is very important. What personality traits you hold back in your field? Is there anything like, for example, presentation? You are very good in your field, but when if I tell you, okay, just give me a presentation on so and so program, so now maybe you have fear of public speaking or something. So that is, you hold yourself back. That is your weakness. That could be your weakness. Opportunities. So is there, do you have good network or contacts? You're good in communication. Can you take advantage of a job where others have failed? There could be that you are good in repairing something, so maybe if people have not been able to fix an issue, but you have taken that up, so that comes to your advantage. That is an opportunity you have claimed. Talking of threat, so who all are competing with you? Now this competition has to be, you don't have to see it negatively or in a bad way. It is just for analyzing. Okay, XYZ in my class is very good, so he or she could be a competition. How can I improve? Does change in technology threaten you? Technology or any other thing. It could be change in environment, change in people, change of place. For example, you're staying in Hyderabad or Maharashtra or Delhi, anywhere. Now maybe if I tell you, okay, you need to go to, if you're from south and you need to go to Delhi, so are you uncomfortable with people around north side? So all these are threat for you, which you need to analyze and overcome. So any questions, like am I going too fast, too slow, is it good? You can just give a maybe, is it
Sonali, the participants cannot chat because it's a
okay?
webinar. Okay.
Okay, okay.
What we'll do on a frequent intervals, let's participants will raise their hands. We'll ask them to raise their hands so that we can have an
So
interaction. Okay. So,
right.
do you think it is the right time? Shall we have an interaction?
Yes, yes, please. I
So, I
think
think
Praveen
Praveen
has
is
raised.
yes, yes. So, you need to hover your mouse on Praveen, Sonali, and then
Right,
you'll have an allow. You have to allow unmute
I'll do
so
that.
that Praveen can speak.
Yes, Praveen, can you speak now? You can unmute. You can unmute now. Praveen.
By default, you will be on mute, Praveen. So you have to unmute and speak.
Okay.
We can proceed with Salim Malik.
Salim, I'll do that. Yes, Salim. Could you please unmute? Yes.
Yeah, hi Solani, how are
Hi.
you? Hi Sunil, how are you?
Thank you. Thank you. I'm doing good. Thank you, Salim.
Yep, thanks for the opportunity. I have a couple of questions. First thing is that, do you have any kind of list where we can, define what kind of weaknesses, an interviewer faces across? If there's any, as you gave couple of examples, do you have any kind of such list, documented or something? That's one point I have it. Second thing, post this session, is it possible to send across the PPT? Those are the two things I have. Thanks a lot.
I believe for the PPT, maybe it needs
Yeah, you're
to
able to. I was
answer.
audible to you. Yep. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible now.
Yes, he has two questions. So for the second question for the PPT, maybe I believe Sunil sir can answer for this, whether you're going to get or not. And for the weaknesses, yes, there is a list of weaknesses which I will mention at the end, maybe.
Okay. Okay.
Salim,
Thanks a lot.
Salim, my answer for your second question. This particular recording will be available in our YouTube channel, so you can go
Okay.
through it again. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Yep.
Thanks. So I'll take one more question, or shall I? Salim, okay, I've already.
Let's
Praveen?
proceed. Let's proceed, Sonali, and then we can have an interaction
Okay,
after a few couple of slides. Okay.
right. So let's get back to the presentation. Now here we have, after the SWOT analysis, like you have analyzed yourself, and if you actually make that table of SWOT analysis, it is going to help you a lot to know more about yourself. Regarding the types of interviews now, there are various types of interviews. The most common ones which I have selected here: panel interview. Here, as you can see in the picture also, there are several people. It could be 4 or 6 people, and they are from different fields of expertise, so they might ask all types of questions. It could be technical, it could be managerial, it could be your behavioral, social, so they can ask all types of questions. So you need to be quite alert, and your body language and the way you speak, what you speak, is very important. The decision here is made collective by the panel, since they are all there in the panel and they will be giving a collective decision. Structured interview, usually all candidates have a same set of questions, and how you respond to the question is based on your responses. The selection is done. Unstructured is, it is you can say a bit kind of casual, because here the interviewer will not ask specific question. He might uh, ask same questions, or he may just progress depending on your reply. You may have work experience, you may not have work experience, so depending on that he would maneuver his questions. here. So this is unstructured type. Coming to stress interview, this interview is a bit challenging in nature. This is mainly for high profile jobs because you need to handle a lot of people. Now, when you're handling a team, say you're a manager or a CEO of a company or in a higher position where you have teams under you, the stress is quite high because you need to uh, see what the juniors require. You need to answer the seniors also. So in this case, the interviewers also, give a kind of a situation where your response might be judged. Coming to case interview, here a case based interview is here. So one of the cases is given. It could be real or hypothetical, and here the candidate needs to give a solution to that particular problem. It could be a story, or it could be a situation in the company that XYZ thing happened. Say for example, a person is not performing well. So and these are the factors. So what are the steps you are going to take as a manager or as a team leader? So these are case based interviews. And if like they are even real life based or even hypothetical, your answers need to be practical. I mean, you can't say that just out of the blue that I'm going to do, for example, what I'm trying to say is your answers have to be very practical and structured, in the sense, if I'm trying to apply as an employee those answers in real life in any situation, it should be applicable. So that you have to be very careful. Off-site interviews, generally these interviews are not held in offices. Here it could be a lunch or could be even breakfast. So the employee tries to the employer tries to meet the candidate in an informal environment. So how is your performance outside the work area, or maybe it could be a more relaxed interview. That these all interview types purely depend upon the employer. Coming to telephonic and video conferencing, which have become very common nowadays, even after, especially after COVID. So phone interviews, basically these are to screen the candidates. So if there are large number of candidates, so if the person, once they speak to the candidate, they come to know, okay, what is the level of the candidate, or how is the tone, how he or she is responding. From that they can judge, and also from the answers, and then further selection can be done. So this is to avoid too much of in-person interviews. Now here you need to prepare yourself for phone interviews. You might feel, but even if you smile, that can be sensed on a phone. So it is good thing to smile and greet, mention your name, and keep your notes or resume everything handy, so that if any questions are asked, you do not fumble. Now, some interviewers, they might engage in small talks, so be prepared for that. Do not interrupt them. Listen carefully, and then you should answer. So take a pause and then reply. Telephonic and video, both, it applies that you should be in a noise-free environment so that you can focus and you are not disturbed. For video conferencing also, make sure like you join in time. Sometimes nowadays there are various platforms. So if you whether you're aware or not of those technologies, so you should check that beforehand and ensure you know the platform, Zoom, Teams, or whatever. It is used again as an alternative for in person, because maybe sometimes it's work from home job, or you're in different cities, so the interviewer want to cut down the travel cost or whatever. So in that case, video conferences are done, and nowadays this is also considered as an in-person interview. So once candidate clears the video conference, they might get selected, because you are seen the way you dress up and everything. So you need to check your device, lighting, camera, everything. and also your posture, your costume, whatever dress you are wearing has to be formal and neat, because your video will be on. Whether the employer's video is will be on or not, that we cannot guarantee, but your video definitely will be on. So you need to ensure that you are dressed neatly. Moving ahead. So do we take any questions here, or shall I proceed?
Yes, let's have an interaction with some of the participants. I think Mr. Subbu is raising their hands, and please, could you please unmute Sonali?
Yes, you need to unmute.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes. Please tell.
Ma'am, my question was so simple, ma'am. If I get a chance in an interview, then how do I impress, ma'am? By smiling or by eye contact on my first interview?
I will be covering that ahead. I
Sorry,
will be
ma'am.
covering this. I will be covering this. If you could, just wait till the end of the session, you will get your answer.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yes, I'll again answer. No worries. Yeah. Yes, Khan is there. You can unmute.
Hey, thanks, Sonali. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Hi. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. It's Majid. My second name, I mean, I had given Khan only, first name and last name. I'm sorry for that. So,
No.
Sunil, how are you, Sunil? I met you. I mean, I had a couple of sessions there with you, right? Do you remember me?
I know, Majid. I generally remember my participants. How are you doing?
All good. Thanks, Sunil.
Thank you. Thank you for joining this session also.
And I wish you have large users, students, and employees, and you have win-win situation for both ends.
You are right. Thank you. It's all because of our network of our old participants.
Yeah,
Lumini.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I also forwarded this calendar invitation to all my friends. Maybe some of have already joined in this
Yes.
session.
Because Friday
So,
evening, generally participants will be free. So let's make it
yes.
productive. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you for your
And
support.
my question, yeah, thank you, Sunil. And my question, do you have any interview question and answers repository? Like on the website, we have so many, like on technology based and the experience based, especially. So for freshers, all the fresher interview questions. Do you have any documentation on your website or any other repository? Because that will help to everyone, and also at the same time, you will also get the visibility and like kind of advertisement for your website, etc.
And is this question for me or is it for Sonali?
Anyone, because I'm just asking, do you have any repository or website where
Specific to subject matter, let's say specific to technologies like DevOps, AWS, or
yes.
Python. Okay, so
Okay.
I'll help them. Okay, probably now Sonali should answer specific to the soft skills point of view.
As far as interview skills is concerned, I'll be again covering that ahead. Questions are there. And I also conduct mock interviews. So that is one thing. And however, whatever are the general questions, I already have slide covering that today in the session.
No, I'm just asking, do you have any website where we can get the question and answers documented already?
I have a website, but it is not documented. Question and answers are not documented in the website.
Okay. Yes, Sunil. I mean, if you have that, then that is good for you.
Send an email to me. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Sunil. Thank you, Sonali.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Yeah. So, shall I move ahead?
Sonali, this time let's proceed with Anand Rane. He's raising hands. Mr. Anand Rane.
Hello, ma'am. Hello.
Mr. Anand?
Madam, how can we identify the threats we are occurring in our day-to-day life? For example, you are giving the concept to the SWOT, so that's why, and how we can identify and note down, or how we can overcome that.
See, for threats also, you can ask your near and dear ones or your friends or family who know you closely. For example, I said, I am a admin person and I join a company, right? Now, say they install a software for attendance or for payroll or something. Now, I have to use that, but I am not tech savvy. So, I feel it as a threat. I am afraid of it. I am not comfortable. So, that becomes my threat. Similarly, for you, you need to identify like what can be your threat. That is the reason I also said you can, discuss with your family or close friends what they feel about you. It could be you may not be able to identify that sometimes because we are not aware, but other people who observe us, they may find it. If you go to a new place and if you are not able to explain your concepts, that could be a threat. Change of environment, you're very good at your home or in your college, you are saying it confidently, but suddenly they send you to some other college or other office, you are not able to explain. So change of place, change of environment becomes your threat. Am I making sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So
Thank you,
that
ma'am.
way you need to, right,
Thank
that way you
you.
need to identify.
So
Yeah.
Sonali, the right way of identifying threats is to ask our people who are very close to us, who when we spend some time with our family or friends, they are the right person probably, isn't it, Sonali? To
Absolutely. You,
identify.
in fact, all the four things, not
Mhm,
only threat, all the
mhm,
four things. If you are close to someone, you ask, they will say, "Oh, you are very good in networking." But
mhm,
when you talk very loud.
okay,
Example. So they will
okay.
tell you. So all these 4 points you can gather, and
So,
plus you
so
know
it's
some
always
knowledge.
good. It's always good to speak to our friends whom we generally spend time to identify our SWOTs, isn't it?
Yes, I would say those who are close to you and those who know you
Mhm.
well.
Perfect. Okay. So, my dear participants, please use this technique, speak to your friends or family, and identify your SWOT. Okay. Yeah, Sonali, we can proceed.
Do we take any questions, or shall I move
You
ahead
need
with
to
the?
take the call. What do you think? What do you feel?
I'll take one more question because a lot of hands are raised, and then I'll
Mhm.
move ahead. So,
Okay.
anybody you would suggest?
Kapil
Miss
Vasoya.
Mr. Kapil, yes, please. You can unmute.
Yeah, thank you, Sonali, for your help on this interview. Just my question is: any barrier or language barrier for this interview in interviews?
Language barrier you can mention because whenever you're going for interview, generally it will be in English, or if you are in others, if you're going in other state, you can always mention I'm comfortable in so and so language. In resume, you can mention that this is my mother tongue and these are the languages I'm comfortable in. So I'm sure the employer will take care of that.
Okay, right. Because I have
Because
observed, many people are technology sound in technology, but it's not sound in the language, mainly English language. So you cannot speak thoroughly in English. So you cannot explain more and more.
that is absolutely fine because usually what happens is in technical interviews they have a exam, like they have this sort of a question paper kind of which they need to solve before the interview. Now if the technical score is good, the employer knows that this person is good in his field. As far as your language or other things are concerned, your soft skills are concerned, because of that barrier, that individual will not be able to move ahead in life. In the sense, you may not be able to go to a position of manager or otherwise because you lack those skills which you need to improve. And nothing is impossible to learn.
Right.
So that is definitely can be taken care of. That can be taken care of, but the employer does know. But if you go polished, it will give a better impression. See, nowadays if there are 10 candidates and if someone is speaking good English and he is also good in technical, then the company might prefer that person. So why not improve on our own skills. And that is all can be learned. It's nothing impossible. So that's what I feel.
Yeah, right. Thank you, Sunil sir and Sonali ma'am, for this giving me a opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll move ahead with the presentation now.
Yes,
Shall I say?
Sonali. Yes, Sonali. Let's move ahead.
Coming back to now interview tips and etiquette, you might find a few points important here. Know yourself. Now, what is meaning by knowing yourself? Whenever you see a job, so understand, why do I want this job? What inspires me to take this job? Why am I suitable for this? Which academic or extracurricular activities have I gained? What are my career ambitions in next 5-year goals? What is my greatest achievement? Any major problem or issue which I have resolved? What are my strengths and weaknesses? Few points you might find that I have reiterated, again and again, because it is important. So these all questions, again, you need to answer for yourself. See, all these things doesn't come in a day. You just don't have to hurry up. You have a lot of time. Whenever interviews there, you have 15, 20 days or even a month. So prepare yourself well in advance. That is what I would suggest. Know the employer. This is important again, because where you're going means a lot. Just a small example I'll give in day-to-day life. If you're going to a friend's house or your parents, maybe relatives or somebody, generally, you would ask who all are there in the family. Your parents carry some gift for them. So what do they do? General idea you have. So it's not that, you just go and stand in their house. Similarly, when you are going to for a job interview, always research about the company. Understand the job description. Why it's important? Because many a times in the job description it's given that the job is, say, in, for example, in Madhya Pradesh or UP or Rajasthan, and you don't want to relocate. Then why are you applying? So be sure of what is there in the job description, what the company does. Is it your field of interest? Does the company, you feel positive about it? What is the company's background? Have they had any major incidences or any awards have they received? If you have this information, you will not only feel confident, but you will also be able to answer well in interview in case anything comes up. The job description, as I mentioned, qualification, whether you qualify, sometimes they may or they may not give percentage. So whether your qualification, your degree is relevant. Identify potential questions and practice commonly asked. So this is all part of preparation, that they might ask you from anywhere, something about your school days, something about in case you have topped in your board exams, or in case by chance you have repeated, you might have not cleared in first attempt, then why that thing. So you should be prepared with these type of questions. Now, how you are actually going to prepare for the interview? Situational, physical, mental, written. What is situational is when and where the interview takes place, and arrive not only 10 but I would say 15-20 minutes early. Now, why I'm saying you where and when? Because sometimes it happens that the names are similar, or the roads are similar, or the road names or the company name, something might be similar, and you might Google it in a wrong way. So just ensure that the venue is correct and how far it is from your place. So that back calculation is important. Many of the candidates take this very lightly. Oh fine, we'll go, ठीक है, हो जाएगा, पहुंच जाएंगे. It's not like that. Be serious about what you're doing. Give your 200% in whatever you're doing. Don't reach there, at last minute you are, panting over there, and then you're asking what is happening, kya hua, kya paper diya hai. Don't do that. Go reach well in advance. Make sure you reach the counter receptionist. You give your name. You see where you are in the list and what is happening. That will make you more calm and more confident. Physical preparation, get plenty of rest, be physically, mentally prepared, and dress for success. Mental preparation, knowledge of company, practice, mock interview. Written preparation, take extra copy of your resumes and references in case you have, and make notes of whatever you feel is important. Now, some of the points which I am again repeating here, these are important. Compare your skills and qualification with job requirement. Just don't go there blindly or blankly. Practice your body language and speech aloud. There is a technique where you stand in front of the mirror and you say. Your introduction is going to be always, they're always going to ask you one question. Tell me something about yourself. So don't make it a biodata. I mean, don't make it a 2-page long introduction. Be sure what you're going to say, make it by heart, but don't make it look like you are just rattling it out. So speak aloud in front of mirror and practice. Prepare for thoughtful and personal questions. Conduct a mock interview with your family, friends, or whoever you feel you are comfortable with. Keep a printout of resume. Keep your interview dress ready in advance. Now, why I'm saying this: clothes, shoes, everything. Sometimes, your watch is not proper. So it's you're getting a feeling of itching. Your shoes are biting, or maybe you have got a tailored suit and now it's you're feeling uncomfortable in it. So try out your whatever dress you're going to wear, either a sari, suit, western or Indian. Especially for ladies, I'm saying if it's a sari, try it out and be confident. Get a sound sleep. Do not party because it affects your next day's performance. Read books and newspapers to keep yourself abreast of the latest affairs. Books I would suggest, like Atomic Habit by James Clear or 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Some books you should read which makes you feel more confident and knowledgeable. Now, coming to common interview questions, this generally are asked. On an average, they will ask about you. Tell me about yourself. Why did you quit your previous job? How did you hear about this position? Why do you want to work in this particular company? What is your USP? So you are there, Ramesh is there, Vijay is there, Suresh is there, Salim is there. Why should I hire only you? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Now, this is a very common question, as I had already mentioned. And when you work on SWOT, this becomes very easy. What should I know that's not on your resume? Anything you're good at or you have achieved? Why should employer hire you? And what are your hobbies? About job, what is your greatest professional achievement? For example, maybe you have worked for 1 or 2 years. This question could come. What's your dream job? How would you handle a disagreement in a team? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? 5-year goal plan I had mentioned. Why was there a gap in your employment? Can you explain why you changed career paths? Are you willing to relocate? And how do you deal with pressure? Now, here, why this goal and dream job and everything? Basically, they're trying to understand your thought process, how motivated you are, how optimistic you are, how good is your vision. Because when you say that in 5 years I'm seeing myself as a manager or a senior manager, then you are going to work towards that particular goal. And how will you work? You will be hardworking, you will be sincere, you will be doing more and more trainings and courses related to your job, which will make you more knowledgeable, which will increase the company's productivity. So all this is asked because how you as a person is. If I say, हाँ 5 साल में तो मुझे कुछ नहीं करना है, means I'm a technician, I want to remain a technician. You don't have any progress, you don't want to progress, you don't have any growth plan, then what is the point in being in that company? Because company is seeing its growth also through you and how you are going to help achieve company's goals. So these all things have a lot of meaning. Why people ask this? So these are general questions. I'm not saying they're going to ask only this. but on an average, this could be asked.
Sonali, so you recommend all the participants to be ready with these kind of questions, right?
Yes, because these are very common, and usually it happens like common questions only people are not able to answer.
Answer it. Yes. you're right.
Because we are either overconfident or we neglect.
Okay.
So don't do that.
Generally,
and
people give more importance to the technical subject, and then they generally ignore these kind of common interview questions. I think it will make difference, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. And these are not difficult questions, because my dream job could be simple or could be different from yours, but it is not incorrect.
Correct.
It cannot be incorrect. So no answer can be wrong, but you need to frame it properly and speak properly.
We
That's
need to
it.
justify our answer.
Yes, that's it. I mean, it's simple. It's not difficult, but simple things only people avoid or they don't take care of. Because tell me about yourself or introduce yourself is a question, and I will tell you my personal experience. I did one 8 days train the trainer program. First day, the trainer, made everyone stand up and he said, introduce yourself with a suffix of your name. So Sonali, say something, not suffix, I mean adjective of your name, sorry. So say Sonali, I can say simple, super, whatever. So there also people were fumbling, because even you know about yourself, it is an introduction, it is simple. He asked 4 things to mention in that. People missed 3 things. People were not able to talk. So that is what happens. So
Understanding
talk to
self is also very important.
Yes, talk to yourself. Exactly. So what you said, understanding yourself is important. Be calm. That's it.
We have to understand our strength. We have to understand our weakness. Probably we need to revive our experiences. How did we respond to particular situations in our life? And then probably we have to understand our strengths and weaknesses, isn't it?
And that also you can use in your interview very well. If you have faced any difficult situations in your life.
How did we overcome it?
Yes. So that will be your strength. What if it is your personal life? You are a human being and you have come out of it. So why not? So because you have to play your life in your mind. Sometimes you forget. So just
It's good to be prepared.
yes. Right. So moving ahead, dressing for an interview. Whom would you hire? So I'm talking of a professional job, a technical job, or when you're going in a company. Whom would you hire? Now, we have seen that how both are dressed. Coming to dressing up, always wear something formal. Even if the company has not specified or they have a casual attire, for an interview, it is better to be overdressed. In the sense, it is better to go in formals rather than being very casual. For men, no earrings, proper suit, tie, polished shoes, and if you're wearing a wristwatch, that's fine. No pen or fancy things on your coat. Dark shoes and socks. So usually your belt matches with your shoes and your socks matches with your trousers. So that is for men. And clean shaven, your hair trimmed, nicely done. That's it. Don't get up from bed and go for interview. Get ready, go. For females, even if you're not wearing a western attire like I've shown in the slide, she's wearing a skirt and top and a blazer. You can wear a sari, but then make sure it's a cotton sari, neatly ironed, and minimum jewelry. So like the other girl in the picture who is wearing necklace and bright color casual clothes, don't do that. Wear proper clothes and closed shoes. Your shoes always needs to be closed, even if it's not heels, but it needs to be closed. And main thing is ironed, washed, and clean. If you're putting perfume or something, put it light. Don't put too much perfume. It distracts people, and when you enter a room, the panel is not going to really welcome that kind of thing. So put everything minimal, makeup minimal, jewelry minimal, keep it minimum and simple colors, pastel shades in cotton sari or suits. Even if salwar suit you're wearing, that's fine, but prefer cotton, which will go, or linen, which will go good with your body posture or your color. I mean, that's fine. Nothing to worry much about it. Only thing, it should be neat and clean, and your hair neatly tied up. Even in the picture, I would not prefer that way, because it usually distracts. You might have seen some nowadays, they show a lot of IAS interviews, mock interviews. Drishti ka aata hai ek. So if you have seen the ladies, they are, very simply dressed, or even the gents. That kind of dressing is very polished. It's very nice. Now, starting the interview, as I mentioned, be sure that you arrive in time. Make sure your mobile phone is turned off before you enter the interview room. So if you have to call anybody at home, if you have to call someone, please tell them that you you will be in the interview and not to call you. Always wear a smile. Greet the interviewer with a firm hand, not a bone crushing. What is bone crushing is basically, if you are into gymming and all, you have that heavy hands. So if you make a handshake, actually there is a separate session on handshakes also. Like, what kind of handshakes are there? Glove handshake, dead fish handshake, bone crushing. So don't do that. Keep it a firm and nice handshake. Maintain proper eye contact and posture. Make sure you're energetic and enthusiastic. Also, there is a difference between smile and laughing. So make sure you don't laugh. Speak clearly and loudly. Take deep breath, relax. Listen to the question carefully. This is a mistake most of the candidates do because of nervousness. They try to answer in advance. It's okay. You can take half a minute or a few seconds to reply. There is no need to rush. So listen properly, take a deep breath, then reply.
Even Sonali, I have experienced people will not listen to the entire question.
Yes, very correct.
Mhm.
So they start interrupting, and let the interviewer finish what he or she wants to say, and then reply. Choose your words carefully. Why? Because when you are sometimes excited or nervous, in both the conditions, you might use certain words which are not correct. So avoid that. And also, the meaning of the words, you should understand what you're talking. It is okay if you speak simple English, no need for flowery language, but keep it simple and nice. Do not lie. That is about your past jobs or about yourself. Yes, I can handle a team of 100 people. I have done this, I have done this. Not required. If you are honest, you have less skills, you will be selected, because you see, interviewers have experience. The moment you walk in, the moment you sit, the moment you start talking, they will know what kind of a person you are. So don't hide things. And one more thing here I would like to stress is, sometimes there are psychologists also in the panel. They may say, they may not say. So what they do is, in a panel, they will ask you same question in a different manner. You might have given these kind of aptitude tests also. So in that way, your actual personality comes out. They will ask you a certain question, and same question they might ask you in a different form. So if you have lied, if you have not spoken the truth, then you are caught, because you will answer in two different manner. So don't do that. Always be positive and honest. Do not use derogatory words about previous employer or company. This is extremely important, because it talks about your personality, you as a person, and your values. वो कहते हैं ना, बुरा बोलना किसी के बारे में. Maybe your employer might have been a bad guy, he might have not given you salary or something, but something good has happened, he has given you experience. See the positive about it. Because see, when you badmouth about somebody, the company is going to know that you are going to do the same thing when you leave this company. So don't talk bad about people or any company. Just say, yes, I wanted to look for more opportunities. Say something positive. And always talk good about your past employer. That is extremely important. So this is about the interviewing process. After the interview, जस्ट यू कैन इवेल्युएट योर सेल्फ. जैसे हमारा होता है ना, पेपर दे के आते हैं तो हमें पता चल जाता है कि हाउ मेनी क्वेश्चंस वर करेक्ट, हाउ मेनी क्वेश्चंस वर रॉन्ग. Once you are out of the examination, all of you yourself know somewhere down the line that yes, I'm going to get 80%, 90%, 50%, some idea you have. So similarly, how you performed in the interview, you will know how many questions you were able to answer. Did the interview get upset on you, or interviewer, or he was happy with you? So that analysis you can do. Send a thank you email and keep records of important dates for follow-ups, because many times what happens is, say you are giving 2-3 interviews at a time, you tend to miss on dates. Say X company has said call me on 20th, Y company has said call me on 18th at 4 p.m. So it's important to keep notes of these, maintain a diary or a Google calendar, so you follow up and take a feedback. So shall I finish this off, or do we take any questions? It's just, I think I'll just finish this off, sir.
Yeah, let's complete and finally we'll have an interaction.
Right. So resumes, do's and don'ts. Mention an objective. Resume is there to get an interview, not a job. Now, why is this said is because when there are multiple resumes are received, people just scan it and invite for an interview. So that is the first step. If your resume is powerful, you will get invited for an interview. Now, once you go in the interview, second step will be a job. Arrange information chronologically. Highlight your strengths, not your weaknesses. Show what you know and how varied knowledge you have. Use plain white paper and formal fonts like Times New Roman or Arial. Use an appropriate font not smaller than 10. Limit length to 2 pages. Resume is a formal document, official. Keep it simple. That is why it is said that put it on a plain paper. Now, what are the don'ts? Don't use colorful or glossy paper, flashy fonts. Spelling mistakes and grammatical errors are a big no. Do not lie about your past jobs, which I mentioned just now. Now, abbreviations or jargons are difficult because why this is mentioned? Say you are a technical person, you have done languages, Python or Java, or I mean, these languages are still okay. But if you are using some technical words in your resume, then elaborate it. Don't use the short form over there, and too much of your field words will confuse the HR. Say, I will just say an example. If a doctor starts talking in his or her language, this medicine, that medicine, then you won't understand anything, right? So हम simple बोलते हैं, please give me a medicine for stomach pain or headache. Don't give me the biological names of those things. Similarly, don't use too many abbreviations. Abbreviations also, if you have got a certification, then elaborate it. That okay, I've got a certification from Pradhan Mantri Kausal Vikas Yojana or your NABAID or whatever. I mean, whatever certificates you have got or degrees you hold. Try to avoid that, abbreviations and jargons. Do not mention current or expected salary. That will be the third step. Once you get selected, HR round for salary will be done. Do not mention irrelevant details unless asked for, and do not include references unless asked for. So, I mean, try to make it compact and informative, meaningful. That's the only thing. Because if you start writing, I have, 3 siblings, 1 dog, 2 neighbors, it makes no sense to the interviewer. Be mindful of what you are writing. हमें सब कुछ डालना होता है. We want to put everything in the resume, but that is not correct. So always take your time, redraft it, read it again, do that, go over that how you feel, and then you should finalize your final document. Final tips, I would like to say that it's a two-way process. I mean, where you give an interview, the other person also is judging you, or he is also speaking to you. Listen carefully and react. Use specific examples to make your case. Interview begins the minute you step onto the company premises. Why I'm saying this is, you may know or you may not know, there are many interviewers or many companies who do that. When you come inside, You might see a lady who has dropped her stuff, whether you are helping that person. I mean, these things you don't have to, these don't things don't come mindfully. They are in you. For example, if I see, I'm telling my example, if I see while going on road, if a person drops something, I always run to pick that, or I'll always run to help that person. In a bus, I will ensure I offer my seat to an elder person or a pregnant lady. That's what I do, and I've been doing that. So it comes naturally. I'm not doing because someone is watching me. So that makes you an individual as a person. Interview is not only, okay, I've learned ABCD, you ask me ABCD. Now you are above that. You are graduates. You have, you are a person now who are going to deal with people also. So be mindful of your behavior. When you are there, you don't fight with other candidates for your turn. You behave in a proper fashion. That gives a good impression. It could be, it's quite possible, I don't know if you have seen, there is a video was going around. It's quite possible a receptionist could be the manager. They might have exchanged role for that particular time period to see how the candidates behave or what they talk. So always be careful, or always behave yourself whenever you go in the interview premises. Be positive and smile, because smile is a stress reliever. It makes you feel happy and you will feel more relaxed. So that's it. You can, now we can take questions, I believe. I hope I made some sense. I mean, what I
Yes,
spoke.
Sonali, thank you very much. Let's have interaction. Many people are interested to talk to you. So,
Sure.
okay, let's go with uh, Deepak Swami. Sonali, could you please?
Yes, I saw the name. Yes, please, Mr. Deepak. You can unmute and speak.
Okay, thanks Sunil and Sunita, Sonali for the giving the opportunity. And my question here is, say for example, I'm giving interview on the same skill that I'm doing right now. Everybody knows to beat the information, and we are changing the company, and also we have different challenges, economic challenges in our job, in our life. So how can we convince the interviewer that we are changing for our financial growth, because they also know that we are changing for our financial growth, but how we can convince them if
See,
we are going on the
one,
same technology, same skill?
you can always say that everyone knows, you go for you need growth. So you can always say that you're looking for more challenges in your work, and what good you found in this company. I mean, you don't have to badmouth the other company, as I said, but you think that your prospects are higher here. Similarly, also, second thing is, for example, if you have worked on a XYZ project in previous company, that you can highlight here and say that your company is also, that is why the company research is important. I have heard that your company is also taking up now this kind of a department, coming up in this department, and I would like to be part of this. I am looking forward for my growth also. So this way you can convince the employer.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Thanks. Yes,
Shall we
Shankar.
proceed with Mahati?
Girl power. Yes, Miss Mahati.
Hello.
Please
Yeah, good evening.
unmute. Yes.
Yeah, Sonali, I have a doubt. Like, if I was asked a technical question and I do not know the answer, how would I react?
No problem. See, whenever it's not only technical, anything you are asked, and if you do not know the answer, say they are asking from general, even general knowledge also sometimes. So just say that you try to answer if it's a technical thing, and if you know little bit about it, even little bit, 1% also. So you just say, sir, I think so that it is XYZ. However, I'm not sure or I'm not able to recollect at this moment. I'll get back. I'm sorry. I need to read on this. So no need to, lie or anything, or you just have to tell them that I'm sorry. I'm not able to recollect at this time. However, I know I have studied this concept, but I'm not able to recollect. Sorry, because they know that little bit of nervousness is there in the candidates. So many a times what happens, people know the answer, but either they forget or they are not able to explain. This part, the interviewer also knows. They will grant you that. That's not an issue. But if you say that way, it will means help make the situation better. That's all.
Yeah, I actually have one more question. My sister is in biotechnology, so she's opting for software side interviews. So, what should she answer? Why are you selecting this field? But it's unlike it's suppose she's not attending a biotechnology related interview, and she's attending a software side interview.
So what I understand is she is doing the software part of it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yes. So and she's not in her subject. She's not doing that in her subject.
Yeah.
Right. So there was one of the questions also in the questionnaire that why are you changing paths? So
Yeah.
here she can very convincingly, she can, she can convince them easily that why did she choose biotechnology at that time? Now that she has developed interest in software part and how good she is doing. So she wants to pursue her career in this particular field because she feels that now uh, she has got more knowledge in the software field. And that time, because it usually happens, many people do something after 12, they become doctor, engineer or whatever, and later on they feel no, I want to do some teaching, or I want to go into some different field, totally arts field. It happens, right?
Yeah.
So uh, maybe later on I have realized, so I have studied that. It's fine. I mean, changing paths is not an issue, but why you are changing, only that thing you have to tell. So why has she done and what has she done, she can explain that. And if she says it in a sincere manner, that is more than enough to convince them.
Yeah, Sonali, in continuation to the point what you have said, in the IT industry also, many people from electronics and electricals are also successfully having their career in the IT industry, isn't it, Sonali? So
Yes.
people from electronics get into IT, people from electrical, people from mechanical, they're having their
Yes,
great
yes.
great work life in software industry. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sunil.
thank you. So Sonali, let's go with the international participant. Is that okay? So we have Jepamani Blesso. Okay, she has dropped your hand. Okay. Sai Kumar.
There is one Max. Shall I take his
Yeah,
question?
please proceed. Please proceed. One Max. Yes, you are right.
Yeah, hello.
Yes. Yes, Mr.
Yeah.
Wong. Yes.
Okay, thanks very much for the presentation.
Sorry?
My worry is during the presentation, you say we should not lie. During the presentation, you said we should not lie. So how do newbies get interviews and jobs with regards to their resume? Most jobs will say they want 5 years experience, 3 years experience. When you just complete your course,
See,
how most people do some hands-on and put 3 years, 5 years. How do you cope with this as a new person?
So you are talking on behalf of an employer or as a candidate?
Hello?
Yes, you are asking if a candidate's write like this, what should be done, right?
Yes.
Okay, see, if someone is writing, I have 3 years experience, 5 years experience in his or her resume, whereas they are just a fresher, it is
Yes.
totally a stupidity, because Once they appear for interview, they will be asked questions based on that. So they will not be able to answer. Also, some companies do a verification. If I say I have worked in Tata or TCS or any other company, they will you need to present employer certificate of your conduct. So that is missing. Or even if you get that, they all of them have contacts with different company HRs, so they will verify it is not correct. And even if a person gets a job, he or she will not be able to perform to that level. Also, third point I will say, on basis of a lie, you never rise in life. You might see gold initially, but you will never sustain. You will never go ahead in your life, never see growth. So that should never be done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
have I answered your question?
Yes.
Right. Thank you. Yes,
1 year experience.
Could you please, Sonali, could you please remove the permission of Max? I think Nishant wants to speak.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes. Hi. Hi. Yes.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity, ma'am. Ma'am, my question is, what can I do for the resume shortlisted? Because of sometime fresher resume not shortlisted early.
See, as I mentioned, you should write whatever achievements you have. For example, you now, as you said, you are a fresher. So maybe if you are a college president or a head boy in your school or whatever, all these achievements, small achievements, you mention in that, because that shows your leadership qualities. Your team building qualities will be highlighted. It's not that they don't see resumes. If the job position is for a fresher, they are going to scrutinize all fresher resumes. So in that, it is better if you highlight your all educational qualifications. Even if a small 2-month course, 1-month course you have done related to your field, or something, say public speaking workshop you have done, mention that. That is the strength of freshers, because as many courses or as much exposure you have got, you mention over there, or say you have worked as an intern somewhere during your college, you have helped your college president or club somewhere, mention these things. It will help highlight your resume and your strengths. That is what I will say.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you,
Does
ma'am.
that help?
Yes, ma'am.
Shall I take Mr. Rahul?
Your voice is low, Sonali.
Shall I take Mr. Rahul?
Yes, you can proceed. Yeah.
Hi, Sonali. Hi, Sunil.
Hello, Rahul. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sunil, for your last Python batch. Actually, just completed few days before. Yeah.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Sonali, one question to you. I have around 13 years of experience. Okay, in that 9 years of experience in pharma industry and 3 to 4 years of experience in IT industry. So when I give the interview, that time I think they are expecting much more from me, means as per my experience point of view. But as per my pharma background, there is not that much interaction or not that much communication skill is required, or client interaction is not there. So it is difficult to me to explain more as per my experience. So what I learn to improve my communication skill and other things as per the IT industry expectation.
One or 2 points I would like to mention. One is, since you have already 13 years of experience, you can always undergo a course like the soft skills training. We have communication skills or presentation skills, public speaking, which will help you get more confidence and build your personality. Secondly, when you go for the interview, you can always mention that my nature of job in pharma industry was not much of communication, was not related to much of communication or interaction. However, I am open to perform and learn. That is, any opportunities, I am ready for that, because I have done so and so course, or I have, so now since past 4-5 years I am into this field, so I'm
Okay.
confident to take that up.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I
So,
mean, maybe, sorry, yes, please tell me.
yeah. When I go for interview, that time might be they are expected that much level.
Yes, so
I
you can
thought.
always undertake some courses which will help
Okay.
you, build your, because what happens is maybe your nature of work was not such earlier. So though the experience
Right.
is more, you are not able to get into that communication field. So that's fine. You can always undertake this communication skills training, practice, and once you go there, you'll feel more confident, and I'm sure you'll be able to crack it.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Sonali.
Sonali, in continuation to the discussion, what you said, so it's again going back to SWOT analysis and identifying our weakness, isn't it?
That is the key.
So again, we are going back to the SWOT analysis, identifying the weakness. So every participant should identify the weakness and try to overcome that, isn't it?
That's the key. I mean, if you form that table for yourself, and also one more point here, you need to keep revising it after few months, like 6 months.
It's a loop.
Because you will keep changing. Maybe communication was your hurdle. Now it's public speaking, or now it's something else,
Interpersonal
dressing.
skills, whatever it
Yes.
is.
So
Time
it can be,
management.
yes, can be
Yeah,
stress.
technically I'm that much good, but while explaining to the interviewer that time, it is difficult to me to explain entire my job experience. When I revise my weakness, that time I know means I didn't explain all these things to interviewer.
Yes. So what I'm understanding is, you know your things well, but when it comes to telling them, you are not able to cover or not able to mention everything.
Right.
So for these things, 2 points I will mention. One is write down. What is fixed, you write down. If they're asking you what have you done throughout your career, write it down, learn it, and you be confident in that. Speak in front of mirror, practice, so you are able to explain everything. And if it's written with you, you will not miss anything while practicing. Second is taking up such courses which will boost your confidence and communication skills.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks. Any other candidates?
Your voice is low again, Sonali.
Yes, I mean to say, any other candidates shall I take, like Krishna?
Let's have 2 more participants before the end of the session. Okay. Yeah, you can proceed with any.
Yeah, Mr. Krishna, you can unmute and speak.
Hi Sonali, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, hi Sunil, how are you?
I'm fine, Krishna. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good, Sunil. Sonali, one question related to gaps in employment actually. So one of my friend having a more than 2 years of this employment gap actually. So the people are not shortlisting his resume. So even he's saying the genuine reason also, but not shortlisting. So is there any limit for minimum gap years like that? See, the actual thing is what happened. So in the Corona times, he lost the job. He lost his job. Now he is trying to get into IT back. So he has around 2+ years of gap in employment.
How much experience he has, previous experience?
He has around 8 years.
Yeah, what I'll mention here is, he won't be able to give any reason if he is unless he is shortlisted. If once he is shortlisted, means he is able to give a reason. And as you said that he is giving genuine reason, maybe either it is not really genuine, or he is not able to explain it properly. Second thing, what I will say is, sorry, yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Second thing, what I will say is that initially, if he tries to get through some reference, since he has 8 years of experience, that would help him a lot. because everyone knows that in COVID many people have lost jobs. So that is actually a valid reason, and employers won't reject because of that. So if he can get a job through reference initially, right now, that would help him a lot. Once he starts again, then he can think of a shift or a changeover.
Okay. No, actually, the HR people are asking what is the reason for behind this gaps in employment. He is telling a genuine reason, like in the COVID situation, he lost the job, and because of this family problems, he's unable to do the job. So now he's
Then
trying
family,
actually.
no, then he has to explain, he has to put it in a proper words, that which company it was and how many people they had laid down at that time, why was he laid down among the team, and after that what actually was the family problem. At least something he has to mention, because if he speaks very casually, no, then employers think, or interviewer think, he's not serious, he's just making stories. So he has to put it in a very convincing manner. He has to tell, he has to give data somewhere. Sometimes you have to give statistics,
Okay,
that
okay,
this much percentage, this much was done, why I was laid down, XYZ. So that time it becomes convincing. If I talk in air, वो company थी मुझे निकाल दिया, ऐसा हुआ वैसा, it doesn't work. So ask him to be very systematic and very statistical in his answers. That would help him for sure.
okay, okay.
And the way
Like,
he speaks, it should not be, it should not look casual, or it should not look like you know like very dejected. He can always say that was the situation. I mean, if he couldn't do anything, then that is the time he can express. That's what I will
okay,
say.
okay,
And
okay,
also
okay,
ask him to get a job through reference first, so he can think of shifting later on, once he starts
okay.
working.
Yeah, okay, okay. Thank you, Sonali. Yeah.
Thanks. Oh,
Shall we have a final call, Sonali?
yeah, Krishna Veni, shall I take one more
Yes,
question,
please.
or
Yes,
yeah, I'll
please.
take one more and then we can close. Yes, Miss Krishna Veni, you can speak.
No, is there any limit
Sorry,
in the employment gap?
who is speaking, please?
Yeah, Krishna only, Krishna Barnala.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yes, please tell.
No, is there any gap limit actually in the employment gaps? Like two
Honestly,
may.
no. No, honestly, no, because if the reason is genuine, then
Okay,
there is no limit. For example, I would say for ladies, if it's uh, like pregnancy or maternity issue, there could be 2 to 3 years of gap, or even more. Or even for gents, if there is any pressing issues in the family, there is no limit as far as you can justify that properly. Just because you are sitting idle and you didn't appear for any interviews, that cannot be a reason for your gap. So justify that if you are really interested in a job. Maybe you tried a business. There could be, I know one case, a person was very good in doing very well in his job, he was in HR, and almost with 10 years of experience he left, and he picked up a business for 4 years, which didn't work initially. He had to stop the business. His business failed, and after that nobody was, he was not getting employment
okay,
with such a strong background of 10, 12 years. Just because of his 4 years gap, he was not getting. However, again through a reference, he got in a company, and now he is attached to an international company. So he's again back on track. So nothing is impossible if you are determined and if you're genuine. So I personally feel you just be systematic in what all things you do. That would
okay,
help.
okay.
Right.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sonali.
Thanks. Yes, so then shall we?
A final call with Krishnaveni Velpula.
So whom did I speak to just now?
The Krishna, the previous
Acha, he
participant.
was so
Both the
I
name
thought
were
same.
Krishna. Okay.
I thought she's a female. She's a female. I mean, Krishna.
Krishnaveni, you are now, you can talk now.
Yes,
You can
please.
see your hand raised.
Yes, please. Hello. Did you unmute?
Krishnaveni, you have to unmute and talk. By default, you will be on mute. You have to unmute and talk. Okay, let's go with other participant. Sonali, shall we go with Nelson?
Yes, yes. Can you please allow to talk because I'm not able to find.
Can you see the search bar on the top in the participants?
Okay, yeah.
You
Nelson, huh?
can NEL as well.
Yeah, okay. Yes, Mr. Nelson, you can unmute and speak, please.
Yeah, hi Sonali.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please.
Yeah, hi Sunil.
Hi.
Yeah, I've been in the past batch, Python past batch. So I've learned it very well. Thank you for that. And Sonali,
Welcome, Nelson.
yeah, and Sonali, regarding the interview questions. So I've been in operations for 2 years now. So actually, I've had a friend of mine who's working in DevOps, and also I have learned DevOps. I've gone through a DevOps project and gone through gone through the skills that required for the DevOps, and also I know how a DevOps infrastructure works now, as I've been with my friend and learning about all this stuff. But I'm not mentioning those as an experience in the enterprise level, just a project level. I'm mentioning it in my resume. So can I represent all those details in my resume? Like, I need to know more about this. Can you explain?
Is it related to the details are related to your technical field?
Yeah. So I know more about how a DevOps infrastructure works now. So what the job they do, and what the daily works they do. I know all this, but there are still major parts, but we might not be aware of, because we have not worked on that industry. So there might be some Sev 1 issues, Sev 2 issues. So all these issues, we might not be physically present in the meeting, but we know what they work. So can I utilize those experience in my resume?
What I would suggest is, wherever you are applying, as I mentioned about the job description, right? Now,
Yeah.
relevant to that, whatever experience you have, you highlight.
Okay.
Whatever you know, you highlight. And other things, like you said, you are into operations since 2 years, right?
Yeah.
That you mention in the other portion of the resume. Don't delete it, because it is your experience. And after college, what have you done? Or after before your previous job, it could be before the previous job. So whatever you have done, you mention it. Just highlight and make sure you write everything what you have done. So it will match with your job resume as a job description, as well as whatever experience you have, that is also will be there. So if they find it useful, you will be in a win-win situation.
Okay. Should I mention those along with my work experience? Do you mean like that?
Yes.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say is, if you know that the job description is for what technical post or some other post, then mention whatever technical knowledge you have first.
Okay.
Your languages you have learned, any experience you have, mentioned that first. Apart from that, then you mention, since 2 years I'm in operations, I've done this, I've handled teams, I have worked on this project, everything you mention, because it's your work related experience and you're not lying. So it will 100% help the employer to understand how you have worked earlier and what all fields knowledge you have. So it will be a win-win situation for you.
Okay.
Right.
Got it. Yeah. That's right. And it's almost matching my profile as well. So whatever I'm doing in operations, they are doing on the application and deployments, everything I'm familiar of. But the thing is that I'm not physically present on their environment, attending 7 calls, 2 calls. So I might not get experience with those stuff. So that's what,
No
if I lie that in my resume, so if under that psychological part, if someone asks me like what kind of pressure you have handled in this kind of job, so I might be in a pressure to handle those situations, right? So
Yes, and see, one more thing I would like to say is, every time, everything you may not know.
Yeah.
But if you show the eagerness to learn, everything you will do for the first time. So if you give me an opportunity to handle a team, I will do it. I mean,
it.
I'm ready for that. There will be a first time I'll handle a team. So there
Yeah.
will not be everything you know. So be prepared for that also. You don't have to
Okay.
lie. You have to, if you can correlate, well and good. If you have done,
Okay.
fine. If not,
Got it.
then be prepared to do it. Right.
Got it, Sonali.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. Thanks.
Yeah.
Correct.
Thank you. That made me confident as well. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks, Sonali.
Thank you, Nelson. Thank you very much. Sonali, thank you for your time, for joining the session. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Suddenly your voice is low.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
So,
Am I audible?
yeah, you are audible, Sonali.
Right.
Thank you
Yes.
for your time, and thank you for providing your knowledge with respect to how to handle this interviews. This training will definitely help our participants to be more confident and more planned, and I hope they will help. It will help in their career opportunities.
Right. Thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity, this platform to interact with students.
Close
And
to 300 or 350 participants have been joined. That's a very good number in a short
yes, and I
notice.
hope I have been sorry. Yeah, sorry, I
Yes,
interrupted.
yeah. We're looking forward for many more these kind of sessions,
Yes,
Sonali.
definitely, and I hope I added value, some value. Thank you.
Definitely, yes. Thank you
Thanks,
very much,
everybody.
and meet you again. Thank you, Sonali.
Thank you so much. Good day, sir. Bye.